We always wanted to feel different, unique.
I asked one day, what's the Zero Theorem? And he said, this is very difficult to explain because on one hand, it's about everything, and on the other hand, it's about nothing at the same time.
Everyone's getting rich, except you.
At the heart of it, to me, is about a man who wants to be alone in this very frenzied, busy, info overload world. He wants to cut off, disconnect.
Occupy Mall Street now. Autumn sales have started. Bargains galore. Up to 100% of selected items.
The film, as most people see it, they think it looks expensive. It does look expensive. It looks, and so they assume it must be expensive. Strange enough, when we first were talking about doing it about 6 years ago, we had a budget of $20 million. It looks more than 20. We ended up having to do it in Bucharest for $8.5 million, which is a huge leap down. There's a certain freedom that allows you because it takes the weight of $100 million off your shoulders.
A fear of death, fear of life, fear of open spaces, fear of people.
We fear nothing most of all.
Are you trying to be difficult?
Basically, you've got a world that's incredibly busy. Ads are everywhere. Ads are, asking you to do this, saying your life is not fulfilled, blah, blah, blah. People are busy shopping. Most people are, the world outside is actually very bright and bouncy, and people at work are on skateboards, on scooters, on rollerblades. Everybody's busy and they're colorful and obviously having a pretty good time. And so that seemed important to have. Then our main character is the one guy who is actually living in this personal dystopia, I suppose. He doesn't buy it. He can't deal with it. Christoph and I had bumped into each other a couple of years before at, I think, BAFTA, and we did one of those, we got to work together moments. and so when it turned out he was available, and we met, had lunch, and that was it. It was greenlit once Christoph, he was in. For me, it was wonderful, because I mean, he's an extraordinary actor, just extraordinary. He's a man who's crafted his skill over, 30-some years before anybody even knew he existed, practically, at least the rest of the world didn't. The Germans knew he was there. He actually worked in London for 8 years, and nobody even knew this. So here's somebody who's got all this talent, all this skill, and probably a lot of frustration, pent up, not anger, but the fact that so much of his life was spent being unknown. So I thought, here's a guy that has got a great well, and the bucket in that well will produce some wonderful things. And that was simply that. I said, Chris, you're on screen the whole time. You are the film. I will follow your lead. You're it.
You have made a very big mistake. We don't believe you.
Why would you want to prove that all is for nothing?
Close your eyes, and now picture it in your mind.
Glasgow's a great cinema city, always has been, and I hope I'm not covered with too much rotten vegetables and fruit at the end of it. I hope the sweetness of Glasgow comes out and not the violence of this city.